Well, Brad Stevens is not sleeping. He made another signing for the veteran minimum. Josh Minott, welcome to the Boston Celtics. Another former Minnesota Timberwolf being on the move to Beantown here in 2025 NBA free agency. We're going to break down this brand new Celtics signing and what it means for the rest of the Celtics offseason in just a moment. But make sure you are subscribed to the channel because this is why you subscribe. When the Celtics make a move, we make a video. So make sure you're subscribed and you turn your notifications on because more moves are on the horizon. Spoiler alert. We'll get to that in a little bit. But subscribe and turn those noties on. And we're also very, very close to our next goal of 53,000 subscribers. We are less than 90 subs away. So lock us in and hit that subscribe button for the latest Boston Celtics news and rumors all off season long. All right, let's talk about it. The newest Boston Celtic. Welcome to Boston, Josh Minott. And look, there isn't a lot to go off of production-wise, statistically, with Minott to this point in his career. He's played 3 seasons in the league with the Minnesota Timberwolves and really just has not seen too much of an opportunity. He was the 45th overall pick back a couple of seasons ago in 2022. And, he really hasn't gotten out of the end of that Minnesota bench just yet. He's 6'8", though. He's got a 6'11" wingspan, so projects as a pretty solid defender. But the offensive game just really has not been flashed all too much. He shot decent percentages from the three-point line, but is not particularly a high-volume three-point shooter, even when he is out there on the basketball court. But another wing brought in here to go into a little of a preseason competition a little bit for the Celtics. They'll have Baylor Shireman, Jordan Walsh, a couple of other players vying for some minutes behind Jaylen Brown there and Sam Hauser on the wing for Boston. So, Josh Minott, welcome to the Celtics here. Grade the signing for me, A, B, C, D, or F in the comment section real quick for me. But, look, this is I give it, just a C. This is another body for training camp. Brad Stevens here going with some low-risk moves, bringing in both Josh Minott and Luka Garza here for some for competition in training camp into the preseason. Neither of these players will be on Summer League or anything like that, but they will be a part of the C's here for the next 2 seasons. And I forgot to mention, Josh Minott has a team option in the second year, so if things don't work out and he can't crack the rotation in what would be a gap year for the Boston Celtics where they're not at their highest level of power, if it doesn't work out, the Celtics can get off the money next offseason, have a little bit more of cap flexibility. Now, this signing does put the Celtics back into the territory that they don't want to be in anymore, and that is the second apron. Now, Mass Live kind of broke down what the signing means for Boston moving forward, and to kind of start this transition to the next segment of today's show, how this Minott signing affects Boston moving forward, Mass Live said this. The signing currently puts the Celtics back above the second apron now with 15 players under contract, and that is including Jayson Tatum. However, since none of these deals are official yet, Boston can still operate as a team under the second apron while pursuing additional moves. Boston also has a couple of non-guaranteed deals on the roster, Jordan Walsh and J.D. Davison, but the likelier move at this point is more trades, meanwhile, to cut luxury tax penalties and potentially get under luxury tax entirely during the 2025-2026 NBA campaign. Now, look, this Celtics team is not final at this point. Like they alluded to, more moves are coming, and more moves are likely coming soon because wells are drying up quickly around the NBA as free agency is in full swing and rosters are being ironed out. So you can expect a trade potentially coming in the next few days or so, as there's a couple of free agents left out there on the market, but things are kind of drying up. So let's look at the potential rotation for 2025-26 and kind of piece together who could possibly be on the way out. Well, Jaylen Brown, Derrick White, Peyton Pritchard, and Sam Hauser even potentially all look like the core, at least for next season. You're not going to probably move any of the centers on the roster right now unless the team's dying for Neemias Queta. I don't think that he has a huge market right now. He'll be back in Boston here as a part of the center platoon of himself, Luka Garza, as well as Amari Williams, the second-round pick, and maybe Xavier Tillman can play some small ball 5 as well. And George Niang is there, averaging 10 points a game last season, a three-point shooter, and I don't know how confident I am in him playing the power forward position or really anything on the defensive end. So look, this is an incomplete roster, and especially if the Celtics want to remain competitive heading into next season, more moves are going to have to be made, and they are just over the second apron at this point. So if they want to get underneath the luxury tax, it won't have to be just one move. It's going to have to be multiple moves. And the Celtics making multiple trades to free up some more cap space to be flexible for next season when Tatum comes back. Brian Robb said this as well about the Minott signing affecting things for Boston, saying the bigger thing to watch, though, is really the financials for the C's. The Celtics are still roughly $20 million over the luxury tax line, And it makes no sense to be that deep into the tax with the type of roster construction and Tatum expected to miss the entire season, especially for a repeater tax team. Boston has to dump more salary, and they need to start doing it sooner rather than later, since dumping $20 million during the season will not be an easy task, with multiple avenues more likely to dry up. Like there isn't going to be a lot of money in and around the league when the trade deadline comes around. Maybe it makes sense for the Celtics to make a move for Simons at the deadline, but I think things got to start getting cleared up now, and it probably would be more in the Celtics' favor. I know many people aren't going to want to hear this, to maybe not try to win as many games as possible. Maybe have Jaylen Brown, Derrick White load managing a little bit more next year than they have in years past. So some moves to create more cap to be under the luxury tax at this point. Well, they can waive J.D. Davison, which is about $2 million. They just picked up his team option, but I think they can get off of that and free up some money if need be. $2 million can end up being the end-all, be-all, whether you're over or under the luxury tax. So if that's a move they have to make, then they'll have no problem and no hesitation cutting J.D. Davison. You could trade Anthony Simons. He makes $27 million this upcoming season on an expiring deal, but you're not going to get, obviously, a full salary dump for Simons. Could you get something in the realm of $10 million? Perhaps. It would be very difficult to do so, as well as are continuing to dry up, and teams are using all their cap space. There are exceptions and any wiggle room they have before they get to the luxury tax. And then you could also trade Georges Niang. I mean, this is something that can maybe fit into a couple of trade exceptions around the league, fully dumping an $8.2 million. And Sam Hauser, maybe you could dump him into a team that has a the non-taxpayer mid-level exception slot open. That's a possibility as well. But we'll talk about Sam Hauser in just a second, as it looks like they probably want to keep him rather than deal him, and maybe be in favor of a Georges Niang move rather than dealing Sam Hauser's $10 million. But with that being said, these are the moves that Celtics can make here over the next few days if a trade is on the horizon. So with that being said, which moves do you think Brad Stevens makes out of these four? Will he waive J.D. Davison, trade Anthony Simons, trade Georges Niang, or trade Sam Hauser? You let me know what you guys think down in the comments section on what Brad's next move might be. Well, I alluded to it before, but it looks like Sam Hauser is here to stay if the Boston Celtics have any any say in the matter. Thank you, Reed. He said, speculation, this is from Jay King of The Athletic, by the way. Speculation has surrounded Sam Hauser's future because it likely wouldn't be difficult to find a taker for his 4-year, $45 million deal, which would also fit under a team's non-taxpayer mid-level. But the Celtics are said to be more focused on avenues that would allow them to hold on to Sam Hauser, who's proven himself a valuable rotation piece and one of the NBA's best shooters, above 40% pretty much every single year. The team agreed to acquire Simons and Georges Niang this week, but both players are candidates to be moved before they even play a game for Boston. Okay, so with that being known, and the Celtics want to keep Sam Hauser, like if they want to get under the luxury tax at some point, then it's going to take probably moving Anthony Simons. At least that to start, because that's your big chunk contract. That's your ability to move off of probably as much salary as possible. Now, can you move off of maybe something up to $12 million? It's going to be difficult, but I think Brad Stevens can use his wizard powers and the secret, very silent behind closed doors deals that never get leaked to the public in order to show off that kind of salary. People are willing to trade with the Boston Celtics because leaks never get out there. So could he swindle a move in order to get off of like $10 to $12 million on Simons? I think that would have to be how things start in order for Boston to fully get under the luxury tax. We got a couple more Celtics news nuggets to discuss on today's show, but make sure you guys get hooked up with this awesome 2024 championship shirt that is on sale with our friends over at Fanatics Now. Let's reminisce on better times when KP was a Celtic, Drew was a Celtic, and they were lifting the Larry O'Brien last June. Get it at this link right here, chatsports.com/champsale, chatsports.com/champsale. I put that in the comment section and description of today's video. I might get myself one as well. It's got the caricatures of everybody that was rocking with the C's last year when they won the title, so get it half off, basically. $35, turn it into $18. Yours today, chatsports.com/champsale. Get it today. Comment section in the description of today's video. All right, we got to round out with some Celtics news nuggets here as I didn't really know if there was ever going to be a great time to tell you guys all this. Well, Hugo Gonzalez is officially signing with the Boston Celtics, the first-round draft pick 28th overall. He's going to be rocking number 28 for the C's, and we could also potentially see Hugo as early as the Summer League. That's not 100% confirmed yet. He's out there playing a EuroLeague schedule, but Hugo, and it is Hugo, by the way. The H is silent over there in Spain, so that's going to be his, what he's going to be called here. Hugo Gonzalez, first-round pick with the Boston Celtics. Marcus Smart, Derrick White hybrid archetype, but think of it on the wing as well. He's going to be hustle plays all over the place. He was also at a Celtics community event with Max Scholga and Amari Williams, the 2 second-round picks, introducing themselves for the first time to the C's community. But first deal officially signed here that is not a two-way contract, which is what Scholga and Williams are on. Ugo, welcome to Boston. Officially 4-year deal. Let's get into it. All right, and also the Celtics will be in the Summer League here over the next couple of weeks. Will we see Ugo? I'm not so sure yet, but we will see Scholga. We'll see Amari Williams, and we will see a bunch of other Celtics players out there. I believe Jordan Walsh will be on the roster as well. So a little bit of do or die. I think he better be clear, far and away the best player out there on the floor if he wants rotation minutes for Boston. But the Celtics Summer League schedule is as follows. We got July 11th versus the Grizzlies, and all these games are going to be on national TV as well. So shout out to the C's here for having the big brand and getting on national TV for the Summer League. Everybody can watch it now. July 11th versus the Grizzlies at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. July 13th versus the Knicks at 5:30. July 14th against the Heat at 8 o'clock Eastern on ESPNU. And then July 17th against the Lakers on the worldwide leader at 9 o'clock Eastern. Then it will be the playoffs in Vegas for the Summer League. And if you guys want us to go live for the Summer League, go down below and show me. Like today's video. Smash that thumbs up icon if you guys want more Celtics watch parties, even in the offseason, even for Low States basketball, watching the new Celtics rookies try to take home the Summer League crown. That will do it for today's edition of Celtics Today by Chat Sports. Lock us in and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We're almost at 53,000 subs here at Celtics Today. So hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on, because if the Celtics make a move, we'll make a video. We'll see you guys on the next one. And as always, let's go C's.